They say faith makes the world go round. For it is faith which brings thousands of devotees to the river, who believe that one dip in its waters will absolve them of a lifetime of sins. It is faith that makes them queue up at a temple, bowing to a deity, wishing for salvation. And it is faith that makes some trek treacherous mountains, participating in customs that are thousands of years old, appeasing the gods to be, transcending generations. This faith, this belief, these customs also lead us to this. Polluting the very land which the divine had promised to protect. What was once adorning the deity is discarded the next day as waste, to be taken away to the nearest landfill and left to rot amongst all other rubbish. The largest peaceful congregation of pilgrims on earth, Kumbh Mela, comes once every 12 years. The Kumbh Mela. Devotees believe that by bathing in the Ganges, one is freed from sins, liberating them from the cycle of birth and death. The 2019 Kumbh has 2.25 crore people taking a dip during the first Shahi Snan. And while they felt closer to God, they also generated over 200 megatons of waste on that one day alone.
We have around 8,000 workers for street sweeping and this garbage collection. Along with that, we have deployed almost 6 tipper in a sector with 2 compactors, and they collect the garbage bag from different streets. So the compactors carry around 14 ton to 15 ton garbage in itself. As far as peak days are concerned, the garbage collection is around 180 ton. And we are expecting more on Mani Amavasya and Basant Panchami. We take this solid waste to the bus bar facility of the municipal corporation, for which we have an agreement with the municipal corporation. So that bus bar is, I think, run by some agency which is engaged by this municipal corporation. They process the waste.
Surendra is one of the 20,000 sanitation workers who has been specially employed to ensure that the Kumbh remains clean.
किस किस इलाकों में आप साफ सफाई करते हैं?
बस ये 4 नंबर सेक्टर.
ठीक है. ये जो डब्बे लगाए गए हैं, आपके काम का हिस्सा क्या होता है, प्रक्रिया क्या होती है?
इसमें कचरा डाला जाता है और बांध कर रख के और बाहर जाता है.
ये कचरा जैसे हमने देखा यहाँ इकट्ठा हुआ, अब जो आपने इकट्ठा किया ये कहाँ जाएगा?
ये गाड़ी आती है, अभी 1 मिनट में भी गाड़ी ले जाएगी कचरा.
और कब कब आती है वो गाड़ियाँ?
सुबह लमसम 7 साढ़े 7 बजे और दोपहर में आती है 1 बजे का लमसम.
कितनी देर आप लोग काम करते हैं?
जी 8 घंटे ड्यूटी करते हैं.
लोग कभी तारीफ करते हैं कि आप लोग अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, साफ सफाई कर रहे हैं?
जी बहुत लोग कैसे कहते हैं, बहुत अच्छा कार्य करते हैं, बहुत अच्छी सफाई करते हैं. इस बार ये बहुत पहले से अब अच्छा ही काम हो रहा है.
But the problem of holy garbage is not about the gathering of several tens of millions of devotees at one place, aiming to take a dip. It is a problem that is spread all across the land, in every nook and cranny, where faith needs to be showcased with offerings and rituals. This is not intrinsic to just one place or one time. It is a problem that does not normally register. According to the Central Pollution Control Board, urban areas in India generate 1,45,626 metric tons of waste per day, out of which only 20.18% gets treated and the rest is dumped at the nearest landfill. Delhi alone generates over 10,500 metric tons of waste per day. One of the largest contributors to solid waste are religious institutions, which often outrank even large industries or residential societies. Located in the bylanes of a busy Karol Bagh, the Jhandewala temple attracts a large number of people on a daily basis. This number grows by tenfolds during the festive season, and so does the amount of waste that is generated from the temple and the kitchens, providing langar at the temple premises.
I did a recce in these temples and I realized that nobody really is talking about recycling, nobody's really talking about decomposing, and I realized that all these flowers in the temples, after they've been offered to the deity, are actually being dumped.
According to solid waste management rules of 2016, bulk waste generators are defined as institutions, places of worship which generate more than 100 kg of waste daily. All waste items such as flowers, leaves, kitchen refuse, etc. are capable of natural decomposition. A process which can take between 2 to 6 months, but at a landfill, this natural process is hindered by the fact that usually such biodegradable waste is buried under plastic and other waste, which reduces the organic decomposition exponentially, leading to large mountains of garbage. One of the 3 landfills in Delhi is the one situated at Ghazipur. In 2017, the National Green Tribunal survey found that the site received a daily dump of 2,100 metric tons of waste every day, and that the location had exceeded its limit a long time ago. The Ghazipur landfill currently stands at a height of 65 meters, just 8 meters short of the Qutub Minar at 73 meters. In September 2017, a large part of the landfill collapsed on the main road, sweeping several cars and people into the nearby canal. 2 people died in the accident.
मुझे लगता है ये जो पूरा कूड़े का पहाड़ है, ये लैंडफिल साइट्स, ये एक तरह से बहुत ही गलत तरीका है कूड़ा डिस्पोज करने का. अब तो पूरी दुनिया के अंदर आधुनिक साधन अवेलेबल हैं कूड़े को डिस्पोज करने के.
On an average day, the Jhandewala temple generates approximately 50 kgs of flour and 10 kgs of kitchen organic waste. During festivals, this quantity increases by approximately 100 kgs. Huge quantities of flowers offered in the temple daily are an environmental hazard.
I sent my engineers helter-skelter NCR and I said search for a machine that runs on electricity, it's automatic, it has 2 things. One is an inlet where everything is dumped, and one is an outlet where the compost comes out. Besides that, there's nothing. There's just a switch, on-off switch. And after 2 months, they came up with this machine called the electronic automatic biodegradable decomposer. And it was wonderful. It comes in different kgs. It started from 25 kgs, goes up to 500 kgs. We decided to experiment with a 100 kg machine.
The compost machine installed in the temple premises reduces the volume of the waste by almost 80%. It consumes limited electricity and is also equipped with activated carbon filter, which also helps in removing any noxious gases, odors, which emanate during the compost cycle. Once the compost is ready, it is packed for neighboring communities or used by the temple to enrich its gardens. In some cases, farmers from nearby states also drop by for compost collection.
But now we have farmers coming in from Haryana who send their tempos and their trucks to pick it up. And so they have bookings, they hold on to like 50 or 60 sacks, and somebody sends their truck and takes all the 60 sacks. There's some people from Gurgaon coming, There is the schools next to the temple are coming in to pick it up. The temple themselves are picking it, putting it in the green areas. Devotees take it back as it's called Khat Prasad.
The Rig Veda invokes rivers as life bestowing, life nurturing, and life protecting divine mothers. They were meant to be worshipped, considered sacred, the bringer of salvation. It is said that no yajna or a temple consecration can be complete without the water of 108 rivers. The holiest of them being the mighty Ganga. Travelling a distance of 2,525 kilometers before it meets the sea, there are some 30 cities, 70 towns, and thousands of villages that reside along its banks. And one of these banks, in what used to be Allahabad and is now Prayagraj, is the chosen destination for Kumbh Mela. According to government estimates, over 13 crore people would have visited the banks of the Ganga, and so keeping the river clean during this time is a challenge that has to be taken very seriously. Several tanneries in Kanpur were shut down for the entire 55-day event. All the 42 drains which empty into the Ganga in Prayagraj are being monitored, and the water flow of the river is also being maintained. On its journey, the Ganga also carries with it 1.3 billion litres of sewage every single day, not counting the industrial and chemical waste that is dumped into this life giver without any treatment.
The salvation
and the spiritual rebirth that the river promises also comes with its own weight of flowers from temples, ashes, corpses, and other such offerings which the faithful bring to its banks. But some are using that site of one of the most polluted rivers in India as a catalyst for change, both socially and economically. One startup came up with the idea of flower cycling, business with a green touch, something that profits in more ways than one.
This is the first thing what we could think about over the internet was like make compost. So then we thought, okay, let's start with the compost thing. Then we started making compost in my backyard. We used to employ around about 5-6 women, and then they used to come, and then we thought of expanding to new horizons and trying out something new. Then we moved to incense sticks. So we replaced the coal powder with the flower powder that is 100% coal free now. The incense sticks is 100% coal free now.
The capacity is around 12 tons per day, and currently we are operating around 4.7 tons. We started with about 72,000 rupees. Today we have raised around $1 million. With that money, we've been able to set up the world's first flower cycling unit in Kanpur. We have a corporate team for about 13 people, and then we employ 79 women full-time. We provide them dignified, disease-free livelihoods.
While that is one way to recycle floral waste from temples,
It was a beautiful pink.
there are others who came up with another solution.
I was thinking that this will come up in a big way as the cleaning of the river. They can prevent putting waste from anywhere, from any temple. But so far that has not happened.
And then a temple in Madurai, which is leading the way in teaching the surrounding community about the importance of recycling, stepped up. That is coming up after the break. For 2,500 years, the gods at the Meenakshi Amman temple in Madurai is said to have been granting wishes. 25,000 devotees visit the iconic temple every day, bringing with them prayers, dreams and hopes, and gifts, some of which end up taking a toll on the natural environment.
One of the reasons for global warming is waste. So we have to attack waste, and waste comes from houses. 40% of the waste is food waste. We are concentrating on food waste so that we can avoid methane gas emission to that extent.
There are some 38,000 registered temples in Tamil Nadu, generating over 3.8 lakh kilos of flower waste every day. Meenakshi Temple too was one of them. But not anymore.
We have taken the small area around temple to educate, motivate and show to others the method of reduction of waste at their houses, and as a result to reduce global warming.
The Green Initiative is not restricted to temple waste. The men visit 1,000 houses and collect tons of biodegradable waste. They sort and dump the waste into large compost bins at the green shed.
Approximately we are getting 100 to 150 kgs from temple. This vegetable waste and other organic waste, our people are taking in the buckets, and while putting inside the compost bin, they are segregating and putting. If you allow naturally, it will take 45 days, but in order to speed up the fermentation and the composting, we are adding organic microbes, which will hasten the process of composting.
The manure that is generated is then used in the temple gardens for farm use and also distributed to the households surrounding the temple.
Madurai being a city which is having a population of around 16 lakhs, apart from a floating population of around 2 lakhs. So we have generated close to around 680 to 700 metric tons of waste every day. So we have a centralized garbage processing unit at Velikal, wherein we treat most of our waste. Apart from this, now because of the increasing waste that is getting generated, and because the centralized facility is not adequate, we are going for more decentralized facilities in the form of micro composting units. We have on-site composting wherein the waste that is generated there is composted there itself. That is the way forward in which we are moving, that is more decentralized and more efficient solid waste management with no landfills.
Of course, I do. You have taught me for like 2 days.
For households in the area, waste segregation and recycling has become a way of life.
I had already made that hypothesis that silk will do the best. The Supreme Court has said that.
Over the years, the flower waste generated at temples has also led to research on what else could be created out of that.
We picked up the flowers from the temple, segregated them, and we cooked them into beautiful dyes. Not knowing that when we dye these fabrics from these waste flowers, the fragrance will also transfer onto the fabric. So we got a beautiful fragrant silk fabric with a beautiful yellow color from marigold and a beautiful red from the desi rose. Both the colors are used for the bride and
A patent was filed on the process, but the technology remains unused to this day.
nobody picked it up. Some of them came, some of these companies, the local companies, they came to us and they said, you come to our factory and you tell us the process of preparing this natural dye and we will take it up. But because we had patented it, we thought that it is a little pricey. We have spent a lot of time doing it. But that kind of professionalism probably has not come into our industry. They just want to use things for free.
Kumbh Mela, the largest religious gathering of humankind on earth. It is also one of the greatest examples of how the administration and the people can come together to create a clean environment. Because if holy garbage can be cleaned up at the biggest gathering of the devout in the world, then it can surely be done at the individual temples of faith. Perhaps salvation means recycling, and it gets the devotee closer to God's creation, the earth.